You are, yes, you are in the world, but you are not of it. Yes, I believe those were Yeshua's words. So that's interesting because now we live in a time when I actually feel like this is a very relatable concept to be in a world and to notice it and to see it and to be able to register it and interpret it, observe it, but to know as well you're not of it.
Yes. And we've landed our feet somewhere
Yes.
new.
And we are like these, yes. Um, yes, it's very important that we say that. Yes, it's very important because the feet landing in the human form are the new. Yes. We are the anchor points of the new field being made available to the human collective that we call the regular world, if you will. And we're not because we're better, we're just signed on to be implementation points. That's all we are, is we're implementation points. We agreed to come in, inhabit a human form. We are human, yes, but we are more.
Yes.
And we're being our more to allow humanity to be more.
Yeah.
Hello, Holy One. Hello, hello. You look glorious.
Thank you. You also.
Oh, it's so lovely to be in this space with you.
It is beautiful.
I'm
Feel
just gonna,
very privileged.
oh my goodness. I feel so as well. I feel so as well. I am gonna breathe you in for a minute. I would like to just breathe with you for a minute. Can we do that?
We can.
Okay, I'm going to open my oil real quick. I'm coming in from another space and I would like to put my oil on. You look like a glorious cosmic angel. You do. You do. Has anybody ever told you you look like a cosmic angel before?
That is a first. That is, I'm like, what, a cosmic angel? This body, is it the white, right? You know, that's what we go to, angels, white.
Yeah, that's true. We do that, don't we? Yeah, we do.
Beautiful.
All right, let's breathe for a second. Let's just allow the connection. Yes. 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 That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Hmm. So, on my end, as I'm being this space with you and we're breathing like that, yeah, I could immediately sense, feel, see like all these different points of connection that we already are, but we haven't made it to those spaces in the physical understanding of ourselves yet. But I could hear them and see them popping up, if you will, like out of variation points of future, even though that's not perfect, spaces of us. And I was just listening to them and feeling them and breathing and allowing that vibration to be within my breath. And they all sounded very beautiful and expansive, joyful, blissful, empowering, and we were in different places. Does this make sense to you? Like on the planet, we're on Earth, but we're in different countries, like at different times. Does this make sense? That's beautiful. Do you ever
Yes.
do that? Do you ever do that when you I don't know, it might just be me and I don't know. But whenever I go on a call with anybody, individually or group relative, I always listen with my inner knowing, yes, to the space. And there's always some type of visual. And then if we allow this more, there's a lot of information, yeah, that we kind of miss just because we don't look for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So that's beautiful. We're very interconnected, if you're okay with that.
Well, I designed it, and you found
Hey.
me. I found you. You put the bat signal out.
So yeah, like the sense is very comfortable in a good way. We're very comfortable with each other. Like that's what I was hearing and sensing and feeling and all the different connection points that I was picking up on.
Yeah.
They sound like echoes. It's really trippy. I think I guess layman's term, I'm just reading the future, even though quantum teachings would be I'm just seeing another now. But I think you know what I mean.
I do. And I've um as as I go into groups and I've watched those other groups evolve, and I always put myself with people that I feel like I'm becoming, right? Like I see a future version of myself in them.
Yes.
And so within that, it's to think about doing that with you and how smoothly that idea came along just with like basic travels, let's meet here and meet there. And it was like, well, I knew that that was kind of in my essence. Of course, that's what I'll be doing. Of course, I'll be going to sacred sites. Of course, we'll be meeting with amazing people. Of course, we'll be, and it's kind of like as I look to my past, it's like, well, if your past is kind of reading your future to you a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and the knowledge with the wisdom, right? The lessons I've had to learn, the wisdom that I've gained. And now I just get to implement that. Then I can
Yeah.
see how, yeah, we get to go play with more humans and celestials
Yes.
and
Yes.
the unknown.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Yes to all of it. Yes to all of it. It's becoming more and more apparent to me. Yeah. Uh Registering uh inhumans, uh yeah, their individualized celestial alignment. So this is cool because when I first met you, if I'm off here, just correct me, would have been BTO, the call where you came in to be on the Ordinary Show, and John was interviewing me, and you got picked to be one of the people that asked a question, I think, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about that again before this call. So interestingly enough, I don't remember it all. You could tell us word for word probably, but I just remember immediately registering your celestial as I looked at you. Yes. Inside your human. And the vessels, the packaging, it's incredibly sacred and important because you designed it specifically to work with your celestial. Does this make sense?
Wow.
So it's a package. Yeah, it's a
It's a
package
package deal.
deal. And a lot of times, yeah, humans can see their celestial is better than their human, but it's not. It's like a twin that just, a second space of you that when together, the unit is then empowered wholeness. So, yeah, when you asked your question and I looked at you, what I said I do when I go on a call with people, when I looked at you and you came on that call, I was reading your celestial and your human. And I was like, wow, this woman is a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse and she's I felt like you were, and I think you're in a totally different alignment now, and that alignment was powerful and beautiful in itself, but I felt like you were walking into the door of that space of you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely does.
Okay, yeah. And I feel like you've already walked through the door now and you're like in a whole nother room. Yeah, that's a really cool concept of being able to walk around in the world of Earth, and to look at other humans and register their human, read their human, you just think, I mean, we can think all kinds of things, but you'd be surprised. We'd all be surprised if we paid more attention to what we're thinking when we're just walking by somebody in a doorway to a convenience store. I mean, like, as simplistic as it can be, right?
Yep.
You register everything, you read everything, and your all of us, our point of reference dictates our interpretation,
Mm.
whether we feel safe or scared, or whether we feel, yes, like we want to engage or we want to disengage the space. But to be able to take where we've been registering in a very physical based way and energetic, to the extent of like, do I feel safe or do I feel afraid? But to be able to now move into another level where you would register, okay, I'm walking past a 6'4" man and he seems like a hardworking guy and he's paying for his gas and I'm grabbing a soda and I'm on my way. But then also, like, his celestial.
Yeah.
Is he a Lyran?
Seems so much more fun. I can't help it. Like, it's all great. I love that is I get so much joy of just going out and playing in the world. It's truly something that I'm so drawn and I find it so fun and so easy. But now to think about that expansion of, well, not
Yes,
this, but then there's this connection and oh, almost the deja vu kind of thing, like a little
yes,
bit of that, but then the future part coming in, like I feel like it's my child mind that I tap into, that it's like, oh, that's how life was. I was always in that joy of, oh, there's the unicorn. Oh, oh, there's the mermaids. Oh,
right.
those are the
Yeah,
people I can play with. Those are the people that
yeah,
want to play. And
yeah,
they
they're
don't even know it
available.
sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. They want to play, they're available. Yeah. Uh, yeah, so we'll have to start implementing this more, you know, being available to the register of the human and the celestial. Now, some people, we're just having such a fun conversation. Some people, and you gotta, this is why it's important who's around you, because these are good conversations to be able to have. Some humans are, in a sense, we won't go way down this road, but some humans, you're not going to register a celestial. You're just not. There's been too much detachment and too much programming. And so they most likely are being registered in the connection space that they are playing a role. It is important, but it is to be that level of human that they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. But not everybody's running around with a higher dimensional celestial version landing. They're just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yet there are more now than ever. And this is a cool one too, because we met through Beyond the Ordinary with John Burgos. And so that's a great show. If you don't already watch it, you should follow him. I'm going to be on again August 14th, I think.
Oh,
So
perfect.
I know I'm super excited. So here's the thing though, when I met John was at Conscious Life Expo, and some people already know the story, but I like the connection point with that's when I met you through that show. But then prior to, the only way I got to meet you by being on that show was because I met John at Conscious Life Expo. Somebody brought him over to the booth I was at, and they were like, you got to meet him, you got to meet her. But the minute I saw him, it was not like typical. I didn't act towards him like normal humans act towards other humans. I just was completely registering his celestial and his human, and I was speaking to both through light language with no, no hesitation, no in my head about it.
Yeah.
But he was able to meet me right there. He was
Yeah.
able to. He didn't waver, and he just was like, "Okay, I'm all in."
Yeah.
That's where we're going. That's where a lot of us are, and the majority are going. This is the new human. This is the new earth. This is higher dimensional beings of light coming to the realization and awareness of who they are, and then allowing that to be everyday life.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I think a lot of the things that are maybe out of balance or off and this was me at one point as well. Like I had panic attacks and anxiety and all, like, I don't know, 15 years ago or so.
Mm.
But I think a lot of that comes from being so out of touch and out of alignment with the celestial spaces of ourselves,
Oh, yes.
right? So I think,
It's been a very short time that I opened up at all to that kind of understanding.
yeah. And I think it's interesting because when it first starts happening, you get a wake up, and everybody gets different wake ups, right? Some people it's bigger and more tragic. Some people it's a softer, some in between. But when we first get the wake ups, we see them as like, we don't want them, right? We're like, what's wrong with my life that this happened, right? How did I do this, but I feel like more people are now in the mindset and belief that those wake ups were the greatest gift ever given,
Hmm.
because they were the prod forward, they were the cracking open to the self to say, oh my God, I have ventured so far away from my essence.
Yes.
I had no idea.
They had no idea. And it gives them a trajectory to start moving on.
Yeah.
It gives them a movement forward
Yeah. It
out of
really
the loop,
does.
out of the loop, out of the that feeling of when you know there's more in your
Yeah.
soul, in your mind, but you just didn't know, but you know that deep inner knowing, and to be able to, yeah, have that slowly come in or hit you like a hurricane, however it plays out.
And yeah. And, in the very beginning, in case anybody who's listening to this is in the mindset of the
Mm.
hurricane, if they're in the space of the storm itself, in those spaces, it's almost impossible to fathom being the designer of it.
Yeah.
But in that moment of availability to yourself as the creator of it, the note to self being written by you, by me, right? In that moment, that availability offers an incredible empowering clarity that floods in. And then all of a sudden you look around and you're like, oh, I can see where I'm going. Like it's just incredible. Like you all of a sudden can see where you're going, and you get your bearings back, if that's a good term to use, possibly. You start remembering who you are and why you are. Yes. So it's an incredible journey. I guess that's what, we call spiritual awakening, right?
It is incredible.
And everybody's going to do it in their such unique way, right? Which is important. That's a hard one, I think, for some. We could maybe just talk about that for a second. Judging your awakening based on the awakening or journey of others. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yes. Oh yes. I'm a I'm an avid follower. I've broken the addiction of being an avid follower. Yes, this is my meeting. I've come here many times. Here's my coin. One more time. I'm an avid follower.
Oh,
Yeah, to really move into that sovereignty of self, and it's not going to look like you, and it's not going to feel like you. There's going to be versions that are going to feel very familiar, which is probably why I'm drawn to it. And yeah.
yeah, no, I love the resonance, right? When you feel uh energetic connections with others, right? As you're going through spiritual awakening. If you and so, well, here's a really important part as well, because there's some people listening and they don't have community yet, right? They don't have
Mhm.
like-minded individuals that are available, upon the journey of resetting one's life. But they maybe have family members and friends that don't get them, right? That's very common, right? I
Yep,
I I
very much.
relate. I relate, right?
Right.
But you could also, they could say that there is a full potential available for those that don't necessarily completely see it the way we do, to still be able to allow us to see it our way as they see it their way. Because that's what happened for me. My family, my immediate family, husband, children, and all, they love me. And they're like, hey, do you? That's awesome. What you're into. That's great.
Yeah.
They saw me opening up, healing, and becoming happier and whole and stronger, but it's not like necessarily their thing,
Yeah.
right? So like that's okay too. And I
It
think that's
is. Yeah.
important because a lot of people think the family has to like totally revamp and meet you where you're at, or your lover, your partner, your who, whatever. And it's okay if they don't.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's a good it's good to love without expectation, to love without demands, to love without the need for having to create shifts
Yeah.
um, that are so big. Sometimes we have to do that, and other times we get to just live in those and learn to expand ourselves within that.
I think that's really important what you said. We get to live in them and learn to expand ourselves. Expand ourselves. If everybody was on board 100% exactly in the same alignment as us, we would never need to expand ourselves. We would be finding so much outside of us that we would never tap in to the depth of strength that we need in order to continue to be that wholeness that's landing, that eternal essence that's flooding in. So I didn't even see it that way till you said those words. So I love that. Yes, thank
Well,
you
it
for that.
actually even creates, I think, uh, a deeper connection to your own self, because
Yes.
then you're having to say, "Oh wait, no, I'm really claiming this.
Yes.
I know it's out there, but I'm really claiming it, and I can't not."
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, and then we move into that. Well, I'm not gonna not do that for you. So that's it just keeps going layers and layers.
And it's fascinating too because the people in your life are given the opportunity to experience their space of it. So they've written and designed you and me for their connection in our personal lives, right? We have our significant people, and so we're part of their design as much as they're part of our design. And so they're having their own connection of expansion available to them, and not, it's fine, we'll lay it on the table. Not everybody goes together all the way, and stays in that alignment, but many do, and everybody's space is their space to do their way. But I get that a lot with clients, with students that will say, I really want my husband to meditate, or I really want my wife to, be into this class or into these teachings, whatever it is, higher consciousness, the understanding of energy. And I get it, it's lovely, but
Mhm.
there's also an availability of next level freedom to not have to have it, to be able to maintain beautiful relationships, fulfilling relationships, stunning relationships, but they don't, it's not because they believe everything you believe, just the
Right.
way you believe it, which is really, I think, something that we don't really talk about a lot too much in the spiritual community. Because
Well, and I feel like our spiritual communities need to grow out of just being our tiny, only us, only our beliefs. And I think we needed that for a space and time. I think we needed that to really um, allow ourselves to develop. But I think now that we're moving into 2026 and the shifting of the world and and all of the different shifting, I think that as we bring in the communities and the families, that'll be beautiful to start getting that divine masculine and feminine balance through example within our little nucleus, and then allowing that to expand.
I love that. I love that. And it's really interesting because there's the unity consciousness landing tremendously, which is what you're talking about, I believe. And so then there's we've talked about it before, like collectives within collectives. And so they have deep resonance creates a collective. You can have a family unit, a work family unit, you can have a spiritual community, you can have a bowling team. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But if they have a really deep resonance with one another, they form a collective of that energetic signature. And so I love that because for me, yes, as we land unity consciousness, we in order to do that, in a sense, it's like we're doing all these things at one time. In order to land unity consciousness and expand ourselves into that understanding, we have to be available, in a sense, to these collective spaces of us being able to expand as well.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, because they hold in their collective connection, they hold the strongest signatures available for the energy that makes up the unity flow. So if you could imagine a massive flow of energy would have all these wave lines in it, right? Yes. And so the collectives that resonate with one another and expand into their connection with one another, they represent the wavelengths that then are moving into their own alignment of recognition and remembrance of being one. Yes.
Yeah.
And so as the collectives do it, the entire shaft, if you will, of light that makes up, yes, the understanding of unity consciousness is strengthened. So yeah, it's really deep. It's really beautiful. Yes. And I love that you brought in the masculine and feminine because we've had a lot of that happening, the growth of that happening in our community. And when we say community, we do have a spiritual community, a Cosma family of light, a Cosma community, a Cosma grid of light. Anyone interested, information below the video. It's a free community to all who resonate. But yeah, we've had a lot of growth with the masculine and feminine spaces. We've got some really strong, beautiful men in the group. For a while, we were mainly women. And
Mhm.
my husband's been here since day one, but he's more of a background guy. But he's been anchoring that masculine space in a way. But now we have him showing up in the classes, in the courses, in the destination events. And so that's really powerful to see that balance, really, I
Well, can
think.
I bring something in?
Yes, bring it in.
The rise of
Uh,
the goddess. Ooh, this has
oh,
been, I mean, I've been doing, the foundations course, of course, like this is it, but I wasn't too far into this. And then I got to do this alongside of it. Powerful, powerful healing. And I just bring it in because it really does. The rise of the goddess has so many versions. And this was the one that really tapped in for
mm,
me to understand that healing space that could happen, so we can invite more of the masculine in, so we can have that strength of actually surrender, strength of surrender, because we know who we
yeah,
are.
yeah. You
And
don't
then
feel
this,
like you have to fight or you don't have to be afraid. You
yeah.
can rest within your truth. Yes, yes. I love that. Thank you for bringing them in. Thank you for bringing them in.
They've been
Um,
my life. Then it's
yes.
been just a saturation.
Um, This was the first year. So the book you held up with the rose on it, and my daughter did that art. So I really love that. I love the connectivity of the generations of feminine as well. But yeah, The Rise of the Goddess, that book, that course came out in 2022, I believe. And so 2020 AQE was launched, Cosmic Quantum Energy. Yes. And then 2022, Rise of the Goddess. But you're right, they're so interconnected because the one AQE is really remember who you are. It's very much the I am landing and expanding in the human format and the human life shifting and changing accordingly to be the implementation point of the divine within form. But the goddess is like, I tell people, do not take it if you want me to teach you about, the goddesses of human history, like Kuan Yin or Freya or whoever. I don't even know them all, right?
Yeah.
But I say, don't take it if that's what you want, because you won't get that here.
Yes.
This is about the goddess that is you. This is about the goddess that is the womb of all creation. And within that is this, yeah, there's so much, but within that is this, yes, reconciliation, restoration, renewal, return of divine union, which is the divine masculine and divine feminine and divine balance. And so a lot of people would never think they're going to learn anything about that in a goddess course, probably like the masculine spaces, but
Mhm.
it's so important to the true rise of the goddess for the divine masculine, the rise of the god in a sense, to be allowed, very important.
Mhm.
How we see things dictates how things can be. And if we keep seeing the masculine or the man in a certain way, we are not
Yeah.
allowing any space for any other type of man to show up, for the movement of the masculine in any way. So yeah, that's a powerful engagement to have with yourself and with the concepts, with the understandings, with the energies. And then there's ceremonies in there, which is quite, I
I
think,
love the ceremonies. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the ceremonies. And all of that was birthed, that whole book, 27 energetic keys, all of that was birthed in a very short period of time. It just had to come. It just
Yeah.
flooded into my knowing. And I had a notebook in my hands and I just started drawing and writing. And all of
Yeah.
a sudden there was a course and there was a book, and everybody who's taken this thing, everybody is like, and it's not widely known. Like, you got to know me and you got to dig to find that I do not advertise it.
Yes.
Like,
Why is that, young lady?
I probably wouldn't even have brought it into the call today. Like, I don't know what you were going to say,
Oh, this is
you know.
this is this is yeah, this is like
I
my two main reads to
I
battle.
absolutely love the Goddess course, and I know that it is going to explode. Here's my take on it. Yes. Every single space of, yes, higher consciousness has to have some type of anchoring or landing pad in order for it to settle in and continue to be available, if that makes sense, right? There's such a massive shift with this work, with this book, with this course, The Goddess, right? There's such a massive shift. It's something that in many ways has never even been, yes, directed in yet. You know what I mean? Does this make sense? So you and all the others who have taken it, you're like the anchorship points, if you will, in this field of consciousness that is this now, that are creating the landing pad to where this could be then available to the general collective. Does that make sense? As we started the conversation, we talked about the collectives and then them being these specific waves within the shaft. You guys that have done the Goddess course, you are that resonance of connection with one another, understanding this space and being the anchors of it. And then that is creating that strength in the space being then available to more of the
Yeah.
collective. So yeah, so this is the first year. I love that we're having this conversation. And it's you, because you came to me, I think, in January, and you said something about wanting to be more involved with the goddess and the goddess teachings, the goddess course, goddess ceremony, whatever. And then I was like, well, you could go and take the course. And we were just talking, and it was like, you're doing AQE. Can I do them both at the same time? I'm like, yes, you could. I know you could. So you're like, okay, I'll do them both. And
Yep.
actually, I think for you, this was perfect. I think you designed this to be, they needed to be at the same time for your personal.
Yes, my journey to come in because I had just opened up and just created myself this space. And I tell you, Monday mornings are my favorite. Mondays on the mountain. I go and I listen to this I just I let it just kind of saturate in and I do it in movement and I do it out using my body in a very physical embodied way because that's how I can take in information really well. And then I listen to it again and then I listen to it again and then I get to lay down and the fact that each and every one has an activation with it, it's like it's this expansion of really getting to know yourself
Mm,
and this level that um it just brings such deliciousness came to mind, but um, yeah, such power of the love for yourself, the true unconditional finding that collective part of it, but also your origin, like who you truly are, and you're connecting into the divine.
mm,
And I think we're told, you know, you're a child of God, or you're told that you're divine and that you're stardust.
mm,
But this brings it into how it is that you are this and how we play it in this role as this body in this time as a female to allow that to really heal the wounds and shift to the joys and find the spaces within all of our relationships. um, yeah, it's really powerful work, Andrea. Really
mm.
powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so beautiful to hear what people are doing with it, connecting in with it, and experiencing with it. It's a gift back to me when people share. So thank you for doing that. I do think it's interesting to be on this call with you right now because every year since 22, which this is 25 when we're making this video, so 3 years now, right? Three,
Mhm.
three, four, three, five. This would have been year 4. Okay. Uh, yeah. So every year we've run the goddess from summer solstice to winter solstice. We always do an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony. I never studied any of this in my life. It just wasn't my thing. I was not into astrology. I was not into solstice. I'm still not. I don't know anything about it. So, anybody putting a lot of weight on that and thinking I come from a specific point of reference, it's just what I knew to do with this specific space, but it was not backed by any massive, like uh, it has to be this way. It was just what we did. So here's the thing though, this is the first year I haven't done it. This is the first year I didn't do it. But I leaned into it and I started to do it. It was written on my calendar and I was going to prepare the emails and make it happen. And something said inside my being that everything, yes, is shifting right now in a really massive way. And it was almost like we were hitting pause in a sense for the collective group that's already in this and anybody else who was going to be drawn to it. We were hitting pause in a sense, uh, yes, as the energies were moving in the main collective, so the human collective itself, and also in the unity consciousness collective. So all these energies are moving extremely rapidly. So the collective for the Rise of the Goddess course was kind of like going over here and being like, okay, do, do what you're doing. And then, you know, we'll merge back in or something. But here's the cool part. You are still doing it.
I am. And it is, I'm telling you,
Yes. And
right on track.
okay, and there's one other woman who reached out to me who took it, who purchased the thing and started last year fall wise in fall, but she didn't get finished yet because it's long. It's 27 weeks of
Mhm.
classes and ceremonies. So anyway, she reached out like very beginning of June. We're in July. I shut the door on it at the beginning of June, meaning password gets changed, everything gets revamped if I reset it and everybody does their membership and all that. This year I heard pause. Just pause right now. It doesn't mean it's forever, just pause it right now. I kind of felt like it's coming, we're doing something like in winter solstice, like it has to flip. It has to flip. So what used to start in summer will flip and it'll start in winter and then it'll end in summer. I don't know, but something there, it has to flip.
Yeah.
So there's one other woman in here though. You and one woman are still doing it.
Yeah.
You still have full
Amazing.
access.
I'm in week
So,
24.
oh, okay. I think that's important though, because it's not really on pause completely. Does that
Yeah.
make sense to you?
Yeah.
There's like
I'm
these,
like this week is the one, like the rise. And I like it's fascinating to see, like we just had the 7/7 portal, even though that's again, it's just a knowing of we've decided as consciousness to make these portal days important, right? So it has these
exactly.
other values. So with that, knowing that we've decided to make it like, oh, now we're moving into the one, and there's like everybody saying, well, 7/7 2025 is a reset. And here I am, just have risen and now on the reset of the one, and the one meaning all, the one of everyone. And I'm like, is this, am I like, am I like on the forefront back here watching all of this stuff happening and still trying to like, hey, I'm going to have some lunch with the friend, I'm doing my work. It's so beautiful to watch, to feel through my journey, but yet each and every person that comes through this has their own specific little fun connection points, as you say. And
Mhm.
it is really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's an expansive space that we're in right now, and these types of connections, these
Yeah.
types of classes and courses and meditations and portals and all of this, they're just giving us the ability. We designed them so perfectly. They're giving us the ability to trust these expansive spaces of ourselves and have more opportunity to tap into them. Doesn't that kind of make sense? And you can see it, right? So like, you know, I remember a life when I was in my 30s, when I was in my 40s. I remember a life that was, wow, so different when I look at my life now to my life then, like I use these words and I don't mean them in a judgmental way. I'm just trying to convey an understanding. But that was such a regular life, like regular, mundane, everyday, what's on TV, what maybe a book do I want to read, what event are my family involved in, events,
What holiday celebrations coming up
yeah,
next?
like all those types of really human-based, societal-based frameworks or whatever. And now it's like I live on earth and I have a human form, and I understand the human collective and structure, and I can see stuff happening in their, I say it this way because it's really how I feel. I can see stuff happening in their world. Yes. But it's not mine.
Yeah.
And there's a verse in the Bible that just came into my head. I believe it's something like, yes, you are in the world, but you are not of it. Yes. I believe those were Yeshua's words. So that's interesting because now we live in a time when I actually feel like this is a very relatable concept, to be in a world and to notice it and to see it and to be able to register it and interpret it, observe it, but to know as well you're not of it.
Yes. And we've landed our feet somewhere new.
Yes. And we are like these, yes. Yes, it's very important that we say that. Yes, it's very important because the feet landing in the human form are the new. Yes. We are the anchor points of the new field being made available to the human collective that we call the regular world, if you will. And we're not because we're better, we're just signed on to be implementation points. That's all we are, is we're implementation points. We agreed to come in, inhabit a human form. We are human, yes, but we are more,
Yes.
and we're being our more to allow humanity to be more.
Yeah.
Yes. So I love that we talked on this because we didn't set anything in, we didn't compare notes. I didn't say we're going to talk about this. We had no communication, but here's a Zoom link.
I know. You
You're,
just
you're,
came right in and hit record. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. I'm like, okay, here we go.
let me just say,
And we're off.
people that find me, they got to hit the ground running, right? Like, I just want to tell
Wonder
you,
Woman.
you're awesome. You're awesome because not everybody could do this. So you're awesome. But so that for me, that's more impactful. We could share this fact because this is all the confirmation of soul connection, energy resonance, and divine alignment. When you have these types of things being discussed and information being shared and it aligns so masterfully, that's
Yeah.
your confirmation. That's my confirmation. That's our confirmation. This is what higher humans do. Yes. So we're going to flip goddess. I needed to figure that out. You helped me do that. So thank you. Because I was really like trusting. You know how we teach that, right? We teach
Yes.
that in Acasma Quantum Energy. Trust and allow. Just keep stepping forward. Don't get in your head about it. So when it wasn't feeling right, I didn't want to force it. And I was like, this is going to be the first year I don't have it. I don't send out a note to all the members. Here's your renewal, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But something in me was just like, it's okay. Don't
It's okay.
just leave it. Just
Just
leave
has
it.
its own timing.
But now I get
He
it
does.
from your conversation. Like,
Yeah.
and the fact that we set this up to be on this date, just enough to stretch me past June 22nd or 21st was when it was going to launch, if it would have launched, something like that, 20th. So, like, just to stretch me, right? Just enough. Can she really do it? Can she really trust enough? And then I show up here and here's the answer. I got to flip it. Yeah. But it makes sense you would flip it, right? Because if you don't flip the French toast, it only gets done nicely on one side. Yes. Ha ha ha.
Oh gosh.
So this is so great. So thank you. Thank you for trusting yourself and bringing the book in and then interjecting and bringing it into the conversation with no notes, with no
No.
like, hey, how about this?
Okay.
Just going with your gut, listening to your intuition. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
and
you.
even how you brought in frequency of unity, and I've been really my name per se, business is frequency of unity, and all the ways in which I'm trying to understand that unity with myself, the unity with other, the unity with the resonance of like you were saying, that shaft and how that can grow. That unity can grow. And it's sometimes I'm laying down, just like, okay, let me see that unity flow. Let me see that unity flow. Let me see if I can get in the flow with it. Like, how can I move into that awakening
Mm,
of the larger? And then I start thinking about grid and, doing the planet. And anyway, as a new human, it's
mm.
all,
No, it's
it's all so
incredible.
amazing.
There's an exercise that I began doing in like 2019 probably, just a mental exercise, possibly energetic exercise.
Mm.
I don't think I ever taught it anywhere. And you may already be doing something because that happens a lot when people of resonance get together and they start saying, I've been doing this. And then the other person's like, I do that too, you know? So, but I remember feeling in my heart and knowing in my mind that unity consciousness was coming in more, even though everything in the reality world, the media, whatever, everything that was being shown to me was division, divisiveness, whatever. I understood inside my core unity was landing. It was becoming more available for us to understand ourselves as a space of it all and all a space of us. And then I remember being drawn to trees, to go outside in my driveway and just get by a tree, just by walking by a tree and just kind of just standing there. And at first I was like, just joking around with my own self. I was like, am I supposed to talk to the tree? Am I supposed to like touch the tree? And then it was like,
You a
just
tree
be,
hugger?
it was like this knowing to just be by the tree, just be by the tree, Andrea. And so I just started standing by trees and just like I was admiring nature, you know, but it was a very regular neighborhood setting. So it wasn't like I was like in Sedona or something, you know, this was just like a driveway, an asphalt road, you know, and some trees here and there. Okay. But still, it was really powerful. And I remember standing by the trees, thinking about unity consciousness, feeling it in my heart, thinking it in my head, knowing I was aligning, yes, the energetic connection with unity consciousness that's available to everyone and all of us, in the sense that, yes, the understanding of unity consciousness is in all, right? But I was really giving my focus to it on a very precise manner of my heart, the way I feel about it, and my mind, the way I think. And I was by the trees, and all of a sudden I could feel my root lines coming out my feet. This was before I ever taught root reconnection or AQE. I hadn't even said the word Acasma ever in this lifetime. And I could feel root lines coming out my feet. And I was standing by a tree, realizing I was a walking tree. I almost can't speak the words because they're so beautiful, but I could feel the tree inside of me completely, and I could feel myself inside the tree that I was standing next to. It was so beautiful. And I just stood there and I just was the space, you know? I was just the space. And for me, then it was like all of a sudden this massive wave of every living thing, seen, unseen, known, and unknown. Every living thing kind of flashed in front of my eyes. And at the same time, I was looking at myself. And it was really big. I never ever told this story. I never told this story. But you asked specifically about landing unity consciousness, and I was like, that I think is what happened in that moment, you know. And then I understood as I went on that the root reconnection that we teach now was that in a sense, but like presented in a manner that could be conveyed to others and energetically assisted or something with others. So that's what we're doing with that root reconnection, deepening of the earth reconnection. But does this make sense? Does it resonate with you?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we should offer a space here for ourselves and for anyone who it resonates with as well, to allow for the expansion of unity consciousness within our own vessels, within our own remembrance, and in our collective.
Yes.
So we'll do that together. If you're watching, listening, and you have space now, you can just allow the space with us for a moment here, please. Just allow your breath, whatever pattern works for you, whatever rhythm works for you. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let the body drop, let the body relax. Just allow the space. Just allow you. The energy is moving in the crown, the top of your head. Your field around your body is expanding. You're expanding. You have an energy center at the top of your head. Many refer to it as a crown. And you have the ability to open your crown and to allow your flow by just intending, envisioning, directing you. If you would now allow that, hold the intention, whisper the words, whatever works for you. I open my crown, that I may know the truth. Allow your breath allow the space, root lines from your legs, base of your torso, down your legs, out your feet, expanding, strengthening. For some, full-blown connection for the first time to the earth itself. This is new earth energies. This is remembrance of the I am in form, all form. Yes. Root lines being blessed so that you anchor. I anchor, we anchor the higher flow of us, yes, in the now. There's this higher dimensional connection. You are a multidimensional being, and you are allowing yourself to stretch yourself into this higher vibrational space of you. Yes. Just allow your breath, please. Energy moving in the throat. Yes. Authenticity rising. Trust yourself. Yes. Peace and balance for you. Yes. The I am, your I am. Yes. Expanding in your now. For some, it's emotional. Trust yourself. Allow. Yes. Breathe. This is where unity consciousness lives. Yes, this is where the remembrance of you, yes, as the one, yes, within the many, resides. Allow your breath allow the space the energy of the trees uniting with us, assisting the grounding of higher consciousness in the now. Allow your breath. Yes. Yes. You are a higher dimensional being of light. Yes. And you are in a human form having a now. And you need your human form. It is your PowerPoint. Yes. It is your PowerPoint. Yes. Yes. You designed it all masterfully. Yes. Trust yourself. Yes. Allow the opening of you, the blossoming of you, the remembrance of you, yes, the anchoring, yes, of you. Feeling into the understanding, feeling into it with your heart of being the one. Yes, the one that is innumerable, incomprehensible, unnameable. Yes. Hulanea kautoaye. The one within the many. Yes. Yes. Allow your breath allow the space beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. Yes. Divine flow. Within all spaces of understanding that the human mind can comprehend, and with all spaces beyond. Yes. Feeling the love within the understanding of unity. We have placed words upon these connection points, and yet they fall short of that which they are. But it is all right. Yes. We allow, and we trust, and we lean in. Yes. We are available. Yes. Allow your breath the Acasma star, blessing the space, the expansion of the I am in the now, peace and balance in the now. The light is here. Yes. The light is here. Yes. Thank you for coming. Yes. Just allow your breath just allow the space. It's like a light bath going on. Yes. You're being bathed in purples and blues, magentas. Yes. Light language coming in written format, sacred geometry, packages of information. It's you, your information. Yes. Each individual designing, receiving their own message of remembrance, their own alignment, their own activation. Yes. Their own increment, yes, of unity consciousness. Yes. Breathe, please. Yes. The breath of the one. The breath of the one. Allow your breath. Allow the space. Beautifully done, holy ones. We'll begin to bring the focus back to the physical sight. Yes. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but when you bring it back, yes, direct your flow. Acknowledge the energetic vibrational space of you and the world around you. Acknowledge that it's different than it was just minutes ago when the call started. We are not who we were. We are ever expanding, and we have expanded. As you acknowledge it, you imagine it, you feel into it, you make note of it, you give it the availability to be. Yes. Yes. To be. Yes. We seal this with the greatest degree of love. We seal this in the highest alignments of light. We are here for this. Yes, we are here for this. Yes. Thank you, Holy Ones. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy, for being this space. Thank you for being this space. Thank you for every word you brought to this call. Thank you for every concept, every connection point.
Thank you for being a landing point. Show me how to have the space so I could land this.
Grateful for you beyond words. Grateful for you beyond words. I'm grateful we'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you in Sedona, so that'll be awesome. And I'm grateful for all the spaces of us. You're doing Los Angeles as well, I believe, right? You agreed? You're going to be on the Expo team?
We'll be on the team.
Yay! So,
Yeah.
anyone watching this, if you do the Conscious Life Expo, Cindy will be there with me. We're going to be there together with a team. This will be year 3 for us with the Acasma Quantum Energy Expo team. So the beautiful Acasma connections are gifted at the booth at the Conscious Life Expo. We have a really big space. We actually have a 3-booth space, and we're in the International Ballroom. You could say booth 86, take up about 3 spaces, but we would love to have you stop by and check out Acasma Quantum Energy and share this space with us if it resonates for you. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with that goddess, but I bet you she's coming back in the winter. She'll come back in December probably. I saw that as I was speaking with you. So thank you for being a messenger of that information. And I love the fact I designed the message to be delivered in such an incredibly glorious way.
Glorious, darling. Glorious. Mwah, mwah. Bring on the goddess. Oh, we've got a lot of loving to do.
Oh my
Be the
goodness.
goddesses. We've got a lot of loving for give to ourselves and to give and give in the most glorious way, in the
Yeah.
healthiest,
Yeah.
profound ways. Yeah.
Right. It's like realizing there's a never-ending supply of love, and it flows freely through you when you give it to you. Yes. And so it's like realizing that, allowing that, and then it just pours out, you know? So. All right, Holy One, this has been amazing. Thank you for being this space. And you have some contact information that you'll allow me to share below the video so that if anybody wants to follow your content or connect with you, because you are an incredible Acasma Quantum Energy facilitator and you are now an Expo team member as well. You are so many things outside of even the Acasma realm, but we're very grateful for all those that you are here as well in the Acasma world. So we'll put your contact info in the description below this video. So if you resonate with Cindy and you'd like to connect with her, she is an incredible being guiding a lot of people back into these glorious spaces of their own remembrance as well. And we'd also love to have you in our spiritual community, which we mentioned earlier. That information is below the video as well. So thank you for being this space, however you found us here, day, night, anywhere in the world. We're honored to be it with you. And we just send out huge waves of love to everyone and blessings upon all. Blessings upon all. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
That was wonderful, Holy One. Truly wonderful. Wow. I feel like exhilarated. Exhilarated.
Oh, thank you for allowing just the freedom for me to flow, carrying me while
Uh,
also allowing me.
well, let me just say, you are easy to take on a trip, okay? You are easy to take on a trip. You are very self sufficient.